Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the Tier 7 Royal Navy Light Cruiser, the Belfast, and I'm using these modules and commander skills. Now this is a match on the map Trident, and well, it's Epicenter mode, which hopefully means that much of the match will be focused in the middle of the map, and hopefully that'll make it more fun. Also, I just made friends with this friendly König with a nice hug. By the way, I was on the Warships podcast recently where we talked about the upcoming ranked season. If you want to listen to the podcast, then there is a link in the description below. And because nothing really happens for a while, let's just skip ahead a little bit. So I'm coming around the corner here. By the way, there are two carriers in this match. I'm coming around the corner and I see an enemy New York, and I open fire because why not? So I actually really enjoy Epicenter mode, especially on this map, because I really like the fact that you can actually get into the middle cap zone without being at immense risk to your ship. You can actually, use the islands in the middle. Both sides actually have them, which is really nice, and there isn't only one of them either. I find that this makes me more likely to be towards the middle of the map than normal, because I can always duck my ship behind the island if necessary. So right now I don't really have many good targets to fire, so I just pick whatever I can. Because I have IFHE, I don't have any problem with firing at any targets with HE. Now, I would like to mention that if you watch these Belfast videos that I'll be putting out, you'll notice that I don't use AP a lot. It might be that AP is more useful than I actually, give it credit for, but I don't really want to risk it, because if you have targets that are trying to maneuver a little bit, AP can easily end up being just bouncing or just not penetrating, because the penetration value on it isn't very high. HE, on the other hand, does steady damage regardless of the angles. So, right now, I think I'm gonna start stopping here, and I will use smoke because I'm slightly afraid of that Budioni and the Bayern, and there are other ships in that direction as well on the enemy team. And the Belfast even. I tried to get the fire on the Bayern going. I'm not really afraid of the Budioni coming closer, at least not at this moment anymore, because I am inside a smoke screen and I don't think anything is going to spot me. But, eventually I'll have to deal with this Budioni anyway, so might as well do it right now. At least before she gets close enough to try to torpedo me. Like, I'm not afraid of the torpedoes themselves. I don't think that even if she were to get close enough to torpedo that they would hit, because the acceleration on Royal Navy Light Cruisers is incredibly good, but I was afraid of the fact that if she gets close enough I will have to move out of my smoke, which makes it wasted. And, well, actually I have to take back what I was saying earlier. I said that I wasn't really worried of being spotted, but I am right now. And I think it's the hydro on the Graf Spee that's literally next to on the other side of this island. So I'm gonna start slowly reversing. The good thing is though that the enemies are on the other side of an island, so they don't have a line of fire on me, so it's alright if I'm spotted, but it's still better to be in a more safe location. And I guess I'll just start moving away, because I don't think that this Graf Spee is going to let me go unspotted. Although I will try to fight her in a moment though. But by the way, notice that our friendly Hiryu is literally in the middle of the map here. And this is a really good thing for me, because it means nobody's going to fire at me. Everybody is going to fire at this Hiryu that I almost ran into in the middle of the map. And I just friendly fired on the Hiryu. I'm sorry, I apologize. But seriously, Hiryu is in the middle cap on Epicenter. That's quite something. Luckily though, there are two carriers on both teams. I tried these shots on the Bayern, I don't think they will work out, but it's still worth it to try. I don't really lose all that much from it, and I actually hit the shell, so it wasn't completely wasted. Well, the Hiryu has some more trouble with a Congo coming from the other side. The really good thing about this Hiryu being here though is that I don't really have to worry about anybody shooting me. I can just do whatever I want. And because I have priority target, I'll be able to tell that somebody selected me, so... Actually, I think I used smoke before somebody selected me even. So that Congo just ran aground, so we'll just deal with her easily. Speaking of priority target, by the way, I think people don't give as much credit to the skill as it really is worth. I think that as time goes on, people will realize that the priority target skill is better than expected. You see, also I'm gonna focus on this Gnevny now, since I don't have any other targets. You see, the thing with the priority target skill... Okay, so the priority target skill is slightly like IFA, which I think it's called Incoming Fire Alert. You see, they are fairly similar in some sense, but Incoming Fire Alert tells you that shells are already in the air and only at certain distances, and they don't give you any extra information. You see, when you're in the game, you can more or less pay attention to if somebody is shooting at you. Like, you'll see shells coming in from before, so you don't really need IFA. I think IFA would have been good on ships that have very rapid rates of fire, like the Minotaur. However, I think the skill was 2 points before, so that really wasn't worth it. And I think it actually at one point IFA would have been worth it. However, we have priority target, which tells you when somebody is targeting you. And to fire at somebody, you have to target them, so priority target is just better than IFA. It gives you the information earlier. By the way, IFHE does not affect shooting this new arc at all. This kind of penetration damage, all HE has been doing against New Yorks and similar all the time. And if you think IFHE is some kind of magical ability, then actually you have to remember that in the past, this is what HE was like, 152mm HE. Cleveland's, Mogami's, etc. with the lower caliber guns did this kind of damage. So it's not like IFHE is somehow special. I suspect at least that the IFHE was actually added in this fashion to bridge the gap from what it was before in the past. I'm not sure if it's a good thing though, but it is nice because before it wasn't that big of a deal if you were a Cleveland in like a tier 8 game, because your HE was able to penetrate tier 8 battleships pretty much the same as tier 6, maybe not quite the same, but similar enough. However, without IFHE right now, with 152mm caliber guns, by the way, I'm switching the AP here because it's definitely a good idea, and radar is going to completely negate this smokescreen. But right now, if you don't have IFHE, 152mm caliber guns are very, very good against tier 6, tier 5 opponents. But against tier 8 opponents, and some tier 7s, they are really, really weak. And I think this makes it makes a huge gap in how you can play your ship, purely because you get different tier matches. And I think this might be something Wargaming tried to address with this. Okay, back to priority target. So, priority target can give you essentially the same information that IFA can. But priority target gives you that information slightly earlier. And on top of that, another thing that priority target gives that IFA doesn't is priority target can give you extra information. You see, if you're looking at if somebody is targeting you and you have like the circle says, oh, there are 4 enemies targeting you. However, you look at the minimap and you only see 3 enemies around you, then you can immediately go, oh, alright, I found the last destroyer that's hiding. That guy is, aiming at you. And then if you notice that the number is 4 but suddenly goes to 3 in that situation, and your first thought should be, alright, the destroyer just launched her torpedoes. Because what destroyers often do is they will target the ship, they will fire their torpedoes, and then they will turn away, or do something similar where they don't have the ship targeted anymore, because they, try to pay attention to what's going on around them. And this can give you information about it. It might not work on every time, but you can still use this information. And IFA doesn't give you any kind of information like this. And I think this is one of the reasons why priority target is just so good. It's slightly like situational awareness used to be. but I don't think that priority target is as strong as situational awareness used to be. Well, I mean, we have situational awareness in everything now, but still. Having the information that you are being targeted is just very, very useful. At long range in any ship, even battleships, even a Kurfürst, finds it really, really helpful to know whether they are spotted. And on cruisers even more so. I think only some destroyers don't really care about it as much because, well, those destroyers don't want to be spotted anyway, so it doesn't really matter for them whether one guy is spotting them or whether even anybody's aiming at them. If they're spotted, then that, limits their effectiveness. Also, damn, this game has been pretty good for this AP, and this is a game. Excellent. 10 citadels this game. So yeah, the Belfast is incredible, and I really just talked about priority target most of the game. So 487,000 credits, 190,000 damage, high caliber, Confederate, 341 shell hits, 3 ships only sunk, and that includes the AFK Omaha. At least I imagine the Omaha was AFK. Only 1 plane shot down. I guess the enemy carriers didn't really come close to me. The friendly one did though. And 15 fires, 10 citadel hits, and 1 solo cap and 2 assisted caps. I suppose it is Epicenter, so you're very likely to... if you're gonna get 1 cap, you're likely to get the other ones as well, at least at the end of the game. 2,126 base experience, strong result at tier 7, but honestly I'm more impressed by this Hiryu. Not only did this Hiryu go close to the enemies and as a result actually tank damage and not die, she also got 40 plane kills and 1500 base experience. That's in my opinion very impressive. 111,000 of my HE shells, or 111,000 of my damage was purely with HE shells. And that's alpha, not fires. If you add fires to that, that's like, what is that? That is 149,000 damage with HE shells. I suppose the 31 AP shells did actually deal more damage per shell though, because they did 41,000 in 31 shells. But then again, the opportunities were pretty good. Credits and XP, 372,000 profit. So anyways, oh, by the way, I was on the Warships podcast some time ago. We talked about the upcoming ranked season. If you want to listen to it, then there's a link in the description below. Anyways, if you like this video, then like it, and well, I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Broken Willy, and I hope I see you guys next time.